Hello, my lovely students. A very warm welcome to all of you. So, my atoms, hope you all are doing fine and hope you all are following Sprintex series because my ICSE students, this series is very much important for your revision purpose, and this series is definitely going to help you a lot. If you're thinking that, yeah, my syllabus is done, exams are approaching, so let me revise each and every chapter quickly. So, this is the best place, students. So, all you have to do is to like the video, share it among your friends, and definitely subscribe if you're new so that you'll never miss any video. Okay, me and all the teachers of Vedantu 90th English channel is trying their level best to give you the best and quality education so that you can do good in your exams and you won't find it difficult. That's what our motto, especially at this pandemic situation, because we thought, let's just boost your confidence, let's just be there with you. So we will be there till the end, students, don't forget this. And what are we going to do today? There's a study of compound session number 2. Means one session is already done where we discussed HCl and ammonia, and this session is totally dedicated to our nitric acid and sulfuric acid. So stay till the end, have a notebook and pen, start solving with me so that you will also get an idea where you are right now and what are the topics that you still need to brush up. It will definitely help you. Yeah. So let's start with your Anubha ma'am, your AG ma'am, right away. And these are the topic, as you know, we are going to do nitric acid preparation and its properties, so as my sulfuric acid properties. You know that its process is already out of syllabus now. If you remember, sulfuric acid process is like manufacturing process, contact process is out of syllabus for this year, that is 2021. So please remember that. I'll discuss the entire syllabus, all the questions regarding to the reduced syllabus. So that is the main motto, that must help you a lot, not like talking about something which is not even part and going to help you. Yeah. Okay. So I hope you're following all the videos. We are almost to the end part, and I'm taking all the sessions. Here we are right now. And then the most favorite and most dreaded topic, I must say, is organic chemistry. We are going to do that also. Okay. So tell your friends also to follow that. Ambika ma'am is teaching biology. Anup sir is teaching physics here. Gopal sir is mathematics, and Ankana ma'am SST. Too much of her syllabus is, what do you call it? Ankeshwari ma'am, Ankeshwari Mata. Shweta ma'am is teaching English here, and this is her schedule. If you'll download the PDF of this session, you'll automatically get this entire schedule, so you can totally see that. It will be very good. It will be there in all the Sprintex sessions of mine and all the other teachers as well. So don't worry. Yeah. And as I said, don't forget to like the video, please share it among your friends, tell them about the series, and subscribe if you're new. Yeah. And let's start with the positive quote, because I really want my students to stay positive at this time. Because if you'll stay positive, if you'll stay confident, you'll automatically do good. So, students, you only fail when you stop trying. So, do believe in the same and never stop trying. Even if you feel at one moment of time, oh, I am done, I need a break. Everyone needs a break, but just take a bit time and rejuvenate yourself and tell this to yourself, I won't stop trying, and I'll try my level best. I'll show my best version, and I'll come with the, this kind of a feeling that I can pass all the hurdles. That's how you'll become more confident and more positive person. Okay, so never stop trying. Yep, students, please do let me know in the comment section. Yes, ma'am, we will never stop trying and we'll try our level best. Okay, it's not about only exams, it's like a life lesson that I have also learned, and I really wanted to share it with my students also. Okay, so with this positive energy, let's start with the very first question right now, and that is question number 1 for 1 marks. And the question is, why is water not added to concentrated sulfuric acid in order to dilute it? This is something that you already know it, that when we do dilution, we'll never prefer like this, that we'll take an acid and then we are putting water into it, because this acid, when I talk about sulfuric acid, is like in the form of concentrated acid, is very much corrosive in nature. And when you directly trying to put water to dilute, what will happen? This will be a highly exothermic process. I'm writing process and I am not writing reaction, because this is just dilution. You're just mixing water just to decrease the concentration. You are not doing any chemical reaction. Process could be physical or chemical. All right. Highly exothermic reaction means as soon as your acid will touch with the water, a tremendous amount of energy will release because of its corrosive nature. You won't be able to control it. The acid in the form of vapors along with your steam particle will splash to your mouth. Possibility your beaker can break, and you can also get harmed by the same. So the best method is to reverse it. Take water. You can do all the mathematics. Suppose that I'm having 90% sulfuric acid and you want to decrease the concentration to 50%. With all the mathematics calculation you can do that in 80% I'll be needing this much acid, this much water. So what will be in the case of 50%? That's normal math. And then you can take that much amount of water and drop by drop you can put your acid. By that way you can control the amount of heat produced, because then it will be gradual heat release and you will be able to control it. There's one more suggestion I'll say, because working in laboratories gave me that experience how to do that. You can also take an ice bath. What's that? You'll get copper containers in laboratory, and then you can easily get crushed ice in laboratory as well. So take crushed ice, take your beaker, put your beaker in that with water, and then try to put acid drop by drop. So by this method, what will happen, as it's exothermic process, the heat release will be not going to harm anyone, that because we have taken ice, ice can absorb the heat. Easy peasy, understood? I am trying to give you all possible data so that your concept will be clear and you can easily think of it and can do this question in 1 minute without giving so much of stress on yourself. So please remember, you can always write the short points, and anyway, all the solutions will be attached in the file too. You can download it. Yeah? Okay. Question number 2 for 2 marks. Let's see that. Nitric acid cannot be concentrated beyond 68% by distillation of dilute solution of nitric acid. It's like I'm having a solution of nitric acid with water. Again, just think about it. Suppose I'm having 28% of my solution of nitric acid with water, that's much diluted. One thing that came to our mind is how to make it concentrated, that let's try to distill it. Distill means you'll take this mixture and you'll try to do what? You will try to heat this mixture in a distillation flask. So what will happen? Your water, comparatively having lesser boiling point, starts converting to vapor, and your solvent is something that is going away, and nitric acid will be more and water will be less, and in a way you're getting a concentrated solution. But it's getting concentrated, and when it reaches to 68% concentration, what will happen? Now no more concentrated you can make it, because at this concentration we are going to get a constant boiling mixture. Now what is the meaning of constant boiling mixture? That at this percentage my nitric acid as well as water vapor starts leaving my solution equally, starts leaving the solution equally. Means at this time, constant boiling mixture means both will convert to vapor and at the same time they are leaving it. So if both are leaving, it's like the same amount of water and same amount of acid is there in the solution. That means its concentration cannot go beyond 68%. As simple as that. So do remember that. That was a very important question I've taken in the first session as well in terms of my HCl. Okay, just see that as well. I hope you have seen that session. Otherwise, you will get it on this channel. You can see the playlist. You will get it properly. Yeah. Question number 3 for 2 marks. I hope you understood that question. Yeah. Question number 3 is, which property of sulfuric acid is used to prepare the HCl and nitric acid? Okay, this is an important question. So do remember that we can prepare HCl. Sulfuric acid is called as, king of chemicals, because with the help of this we can prepare so many other chemicals, and some of them are my other acids, HCl, HNO3. The main reason is they are volatile acid, and my sulfuric acid is a non-volatile acid. With the help of non-volatile acid, we can easily prepare volatile acid. Non-volatile, which is having comparatively high boiling point and won't convert to vapors easily. And volatile acid is something that even if you heat it, they can convert to vapors and can interfere. So let me just give you an example. Suppose I'm having NaNO3, sodium nitrate, and I put sulfuric acid into it, 1 mole of the same. So it will dissociate to give H positive, HSO4 negative. This is my Na positive, NO3 negative. You'll say double decomposition reaction. Na with HSO4, I got NaHSO4, and H with NO3, HNO3. I got my nitric acid, less volatile, a volatile acid to be very honest, from a non-volatile acid. That's how we do that. Got it, students? So this is an important question and can come to exams. Now the next part is, what's the catalyst used in the catalytic chamber in Oswald process, and what's the temperature used? If you remember Oswald process, that's a process with the help of which we prepare nitric acid. And if you remember the very first step, how we do that, we'll take ammonia and we'll do the oxidation of ammonia in the axis of oxygen, axis of air. And that will do what? That will decompose, that will react more of like a displacement reaction to give my nitric oxide and water. And now in this reaction, we'll be definitely needing an oxidizing agent so that oxidation of this product can also occur along with my displacement. And the general oxidizing agent we use is vanadium pentoxide, or we can simply use platinum also. Platinum generally works better. And the temperature, that is around 7 to 800 degrees Celsius. Okay, so do remember these conditions, and you should know the process. Oswald process for this, contact process for sulfuric acid, but that was removed. Yeah, okay. Now, question number 4 is a very interesting question, a phenomena that we can connect in our day-to-day life. And it's always interesting to know about our day-to-day life things that makes us understand the science better and chemistry or other subject better, right? So this is a 2 marks question and very simple question. During thunderstorm, rainwater contain nitric acid. Explain with reaction. Oh, so what this thunderstorm is doing with our rainwater, that it can carry nitric acid. Let's just try to understand. You know that there is so much nitrogen in the atmosphere. How much? 78%, right? So this nitrogen, when thunderstorm happen, that electricity, that spark will produce, at that time, it will react with the oxygen to give nitric oxide. And this nitric oxide gas, again, with the oxygen present, will oxidize to give nitrogen dioxide gas. And again, this nitrogen dioxide gas at that temperature react with the moisture, that is my water vapor, and that is there in the atmosphere along with oxygen gas. That's what my moisture is, and what exactly they are going to form? Nitric acid. At the same time, you get the nitric acid, and when there is rainwater, that nitric acid is coming along with the rain, coming along with the rain, and that's how we say that my rain became acidic rain, acid rain, and getting nitric acid. So simple. This is something you can relate to, that sometimes we say that soil became too much acidic because in that area there was so much acidic rain, especially where there are so many factories, because the gases they are evolving is more of like a non-metal oxides only, like NO2, SO2 and all, and gives acid when combined with the moisture. Yeah, so got it? This is what it is. Let's move to the next question now. Question number 5 for 2 marks. Again, 2 marks question are like important in this chapter. And I really want you to understand each and everything. I hope you're solving it along with me and you can like match. Okay. Name the product formed when carbon and concentrated nitric acid is heated. Let's just try to do that. This is my carbon, coke. Okay. Pure form of carbon we are going to take. Nitric acid. Dilute form or concentrated? Concentrated. Do remember that the concentration of nitric acid matters a lot. If you take concentrated, it will decompose because it's an oxidizing agent. It will oxidize the other and itself going to give NO2. In the diluted form, it will give you NO. Less amount of nitric acid in diluted form, so it will give a product NO as less availability of oxygen. In a simple way, you can remember in that sense. Okay. So what it will produce, it will oxidize the carbon. You will get CO2 gas. And apart from that, it will decompose to give 2 molecule of water. And then again, as it's concentrated, 4 molecule of NO2 as well. Okay, as simple as that. Please try to understand. I hope you got it. Not at all difficult. Yeah, balance reaction as well. Let's talk about the second. This is a gas with reddish brown fumes. Yeah. Copper. We are having copper. Dilute nitric acid. You have to put more amount of acid. In the diluted form, as I told, you will get nitric oxide, NO. So copper will be there. The product that I'm going to get with copper is what? Basically, copper nitrate. Because whenever metal react with acid, you will get metal salt. You must have got hydrogen, but here that will give you water because it will get oxidized. And apart from that, what you will get? You will get your nitric oxide. And nitric oxide, how much? 3. And we can balance this reaction. You can see it here, 3. If you use an 8, you will use. Just a minute. 3 and 8. I think balancing part you can do with this much knowledge you are having right now. So you'll get it here 3 into 6 used, and 2NO. Okay, and as it's 8, so you'll use 4 here. Yeah, I know I overwrote it, but you'll get the solution in the slide also. Yes, okay. Balancing part, anyway, I'm just leaving it up to you as well. Now, we have to do enough questions, but before that, all the new students just listen to me for like 3-4 minutes, that how this is not the end. Vedantu is not only on YouTube but providing wonderful classes on its own platform, which is like Vedantu platform. Wave platform is there, where you will get unlimited live access of fun level quizzes and classes. And there you will get a very new approach, because there'll be 3D models also to explain everything, simulation also, so that you'll understand that better, quiz also to make sure that after every topic completion you'll participate in the quiz and can make sure, yeah, you got it. Okay. And you can make sure that your learning process, your growth is in that positive direction. You'll compete with the students throughout the world. You'll understand so many things about you also, and you'll become a better version of yourself. And you can have interactive replays. It's like, even if you see the replay of the session, it won't be like a boring one. You will feel as live session that is, because you'll be able to participate in the quiz in the replay too, which is not happening anywhere, and can come to leaderboard. Isn't it amazing? So at that time also, it's not like the previous time which we had, struggling a lot when we miss school even if we are sick. So at that time, it's not like you have to ask for help. You can ensure your completion of the topic by yourself, by participating in the quiz and see the replay. You will get the replay of each and every session. You will get the notes of each and every session with our feedback, teachers' feedback. What is important? These are the questions that is having a high probability to come, and all of these things. Each and every doubt of yours will get solved in the class, and you will get assignments, enough assignments to make sure that all the tricky question is there that you had solved. Quality test in every 20 days, 21 days, because we don't want you to forget that. And plenty of courses apart from that, with crash courses, like quick revision courses that you need right now. Like, ma'am, why? Because this is the time to revise everything again and again as much as you can, so that you can easily score better. And for the same, we are having crash courses for your quick revision in a very less price. You will get so much more. And as I told you in the very starting also, we are there with you. We will be there till the end. And just because of the same thing, we, our teachers, came up with an idea to give you guys 50% discount right now on the MRP if you apply the teacher's code. So here is my code, AGE Pro. How will you apply that? There is a link in the description box, also pinned by Vedantu 19 channel. Pinned by means there was a very first message in the comment section by Vedantu channel only. If you open that, there's a link given to get the pro classes. Click, select ICSE 2021 as your target, and then select 1 month course and apply AGE Pro code. And 2699 course now after this will be there just for 1349.5. 1349.5 means paying 6.7 rupees per session, and I don't think that this will be too much, almost equal to a month fees of your school. But here you can avail like next level experience and so much more thing. You can manage accordingly. So don't forget to apply the code AG Pro. Link in the description box. Do let me know if I can help. I'll give you my email ID also. Yeah. And with the same, let's move to question number 6. And question number 6 says the reaction of nitric acid with metal, something I told you, depends upon the concentration of acid. Give example along with equation to illustrate the reaction of this. So let's try to understand that. I told you as well. When I say that I'm taking it in concentrated form, nitric acid in the concentrated form, suppose I'm taking zinc only, what will happen? You will get metal salt for sure, you will get water, but you will get NO2 gas, nitrogen dioxide gas. But in the same case, if you will take diluted, so this is like hot and concentrated, this is like cold and diluted, the product change will be what? Same salt, same water, but here you will get nitric oxide gas. Okay, then you can balance it. Balancing must not be a problem. The way we did for copper and nitric acid, you can do for zinc and nitric acid also. And same here, you'll take 4 molecule of the same, and then you will get 2 molecule of water and 4 molecule of 2 molecule, basically 2 molecule of NO2. Okay, same in the same in this case, the way we did last time. 8 molecule of the same, 3, and 3 zinc nitrate, 6 is used, 4 H2O and 2 NO, right? 6 ER. And you can check that also anyway. You can balance it, I know. Yes, and you will get the solution. So it totally depends that what kind of a concentration and what kind of a temperature condition you have given. You can get a different product in terms of the oxides of nitrogen. That is important to know. More dilution, less amount of oxygen in the oxide of nitrogen you're going to get. NO2, NO, you will get N2 also if you'll take more diluted form, like 25-30%. And when you take 1 to 2%, that won't behave as an oxidizing agent at all. And you know what product you're going to get? The same as you get when a reaction of metal with acid occurs. Same thing. Okay? Okay, this is something that's new and that's a very good question. This is a test that I have performed in laboratory too. It is super fun, but to understand that is a bit, not so easy, but I'll try to make sure that you'll understand this. What's the ring test for nitric acid? So basically, when you go to inorganic chemistry labs, you'll get so many salts that is having nitrate ions in it, sodium nitrate, potassium nitrate, calcium nitrate and all. So just to detect nitrate ions, we use this test because they combine with, again, iron sulfate first, and then there is a product that you'll get from the same as nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is going to combine with one of the coordination compound. We're going to get iron with water with sulfate. Sulfate kahan se aaya? From where sulfate came? Because you're going to take my sulfuric acid also in the same. You're going to get a mixture, something that's not able to dissolve in sulfuric acid, and you will get a ring in the same. So it's just a test that nitrate ion in this following condition that I'm going to tell is going to give a ring, brown color ring. How? I have nitric acid. I am going to take what? I'm going to take ferrous sulfate, green color, those crystal into the same. The funda that will be there is this will get reduced and this will get oxidized here. My iron is going to get oxidized, and by reducing this, you will get nitric oxide, and this will reduce to Fe plus 3. You can also say you will get the sulfate of Fe plus 3. That means Fe2SO4 thrice, something like this. And there are still some ion in Fe plus 2 form also, because there is enough FeSO4 not completely reacting with the same. And now my Fe plus 2, and here there is water also that is going to, release from this hydrogen. They'll give water, then nitric oxide, and then the sulfate. So my water is going to combine with this Fe and that some remaining sulfate to give FeH2O6 and then sulfate, this kind of a complex, coordination complex. My iron with some molecule of water, octahedral. Iron is going to combine with 6, octahedral kind of a complex like this. Okay, this is a compound. This is going to make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kind of a bond it will show with the sulfate ion. Now this nitric oxide that is going to form in this is going to displace one of the H2O. You have put sulfuric acid also, that's of high density. You got this mixture, you put sulfuric acid into the same, and the product that I'm going to get is FeH2O5NO. One of the hydrogen is displaced, and then this is SO4 along with the same. Okay, SO4. So we got a product called as some says nitroso, some says nitrosyl, NO group. nitrosyl pentaaqua iron sulfate. This is a substance that give a brown color ring in that sulfuric acid that we had put, because that's high density, that will settle down, this mixture will be upward, and in between that you will get a ring, brown color ring. That test only for nitric acid, nitrate ion basically. Okay, that's written here also in the solution, is due to formation of nitrosonium penta-aqua iron sulfate. Octahedral means related to making, like this iron is making 6 bond. Okay, you will understand that in 12th class coordination compound is having a different chapter along with it. And it's a very interesting one. You'll definitely enjoy it. Yeah? Okay. Eighth question is not difficult at all. Let's try to understand that. And when I come to the previous question, you will get more idea, a better idea when you actually perform it. Okay, so you'll enjoy it if one day, very soon, maybe in 12th class, you'll perform it in laboratory. And in graduation, so you'll definitely do. This is a 3 marks question. Let's try to do it in 3 minutes, 3 parts. Definitely we can do it. Write a balanced chemical equation for the preparation of nitric acid. Again, nitric acid is a volatile acid, and we did how to prepare that. In the next part, we are using KNO3 potassium nitrate. We can use it here also. Like sodium potassium nitrate, we can use to prepare this with sulfuric acid with the help of a non-volatile acid. And as we discussed before, this will decompose like this and do this exchange of ions. So potassium, H positive, HSO4 negative. Potassium with this HSO4, potassium bisulfate along with HNO3, you will get nitric acid, and the reaction is balanced as well. Yeah, okay. Now in the B part, they are telling, in the preparation of nitric acid from KNO3, concentrated HCl is not used in place of sulfuric acid. Why? I think I told you already that we have to get this acid with the help of non-volatile acid only. If you'll take HCl, that's a volatile acid, and when you perform the reaction, those nitric acid that was formed will interfere with some of the HCl molecule, because as that's, you're mixing it and heating below 200 degrees Celsius, some of the HCl will again convert to vapor and can mix with your nitric acid. And we don't want aqua regia, we want pure nitric acid only. Yeah, so do remember that. Concentrated nitric acid prepared in the laboratory is yellow in color. What? How is this color removed? So you know that the reason for nitric acid to have this yellowish color is because that can decompose at the temperature, the room temperature also, and give you what? My nitrogen dioxide along with the water, and some of the oxygen is going to release. That's how that acts as an oxidizing agent. Now what will happen in this process? You can balance this reaction, okay? 4HNO3, you will take 2H2O and 4NO2. So nitrogen balance, hydrogen balance, 8 to 10, 12. Yeah, oxygen also balance. So that's how you can do this. So what do you say? That it decomposes to have NO2 gas, which is reddish brown in color, and due to this reddish brown color, you will get that yellow color at the same. Now how to remove that? You can put dry air, you can bubble dry air or dry carbon dioxide gas. What they'll do, they'll replace this NO2 from this acid, that is mixed. NO2 is mixed. When you put the bubbles of CO2 gas or dry air both in the dry form, any of this, that will remove, that will just help to escape the NO2 gas from it, and the color will be gone. There's one more thing that you can do. You can put plenty of water, because if you put plenty of water, your NO2 is going to mix with the water, NO2 with water, again going to give nitric acid only oxidized, and then going to give pure nitric acid, so the color will be gone. There's no NO2 left. So both way you can do that. It's there, it's written in the answer also, solution part also, so you can see. Yeah, okay, that's there. And let's move to the next part now. Question number 9. Why is concentrated sulfuric acid kept in airtight bottles? 3 parts, so 3 marks question. Every correct answer you will get 1 mark. Concentrated sulfuric acid is something we put into the airtight bottle, but obvious, because this is more of like an acid, might be reacting with the moisture. That could be one of the reason when we see airtight bottle. So use your brain. So this is more of like a hygroscopic hygroscopic material, hygroscopic substance, which is something that's having a tendency to absorb moisture. Tendency to absorb moisture. And if that will absorb moisture, that won't be good because we want it concentrated form. That will automatically getting diluted, and its vapor can also come to the atmosphere and can react with moisture, give you acid, and can come to our eyes and nose, and that will give that suffocating and irritating feeling. Yeah, so that's how we avoid it. Sulfuric acid is not a drying agent of hydrogen sulfide. What is the reason? Because we say concentrated sulfuric acid is an acid that is a dehydrating agent that can absorb moisture. We discussed that also. But in the case of hydrogen sulfide, they can't do this action because they can react with hydrogen sulfide. It's not if they react, how can that can act as a dehydrating agent and absorbing the moisture? And what product we are going to get? We are going to get our H2O, SO2 gas, and free sulfur basically. And the sulfur is going to deposit, and that we don't want. That's there. See, H2O, sulfur dioxide, and free sulfur. And because of this free sulfur that settles down, the purpose is not solved as dehydrating agent. Okay? So that's something that you should know. Yeah. So when I talk about the C part, this is sulfuric acid is used in the preparation of HCl and HNO3. Give equation in both the cases. I think we did that, but we can do that again. When I talk about Cl, I'm going to take the acid which must have Cl into the same. Suppose I've taken NaCl and I'm putting into sulfuric acid, which is HHSO4. I'm writing it this way. So Na with HSO4, NaHSO4, H with Cl, HCl. I got my hydrochloric acid. And nitric acid we already did like 2-3 times, that you can take NaNO3 this time and take my sulfuric acid. And then again exchange of ions, NaHSO4 along with HNO3. DD reaction, double decomposition reaction. You get your nitric acid. So isn't it easy peasy? Not difficult at all. Yes, students, do let me know. Okay, don't worry. We are doing all the questions just for you only, for your practice. So stay calm, stay till the end. Yes, almost last question. Give one reaction in each case of the following, showing the following properties of sulfuric acid. 4 marks, 4 part, 1 mark, 1 correct answer. Okay, as an acid. We want to see sulfuric acid property, and this is very easy. If I take suppose my zinc metal, my metal react with acid to give salt and hydrogen gas. So here it's showing acidic property, that with metal, it's giving metal salt along with hydrogen gas. Only possible when it shows acidic property. Right? B part. As an oxidizing agent, we did that so many times. Suppose I'm taking copper and putting it into nitric acid. Again, suppose I have taken the 4 molecules and I have taken concentrated this. This will act as oxidizing agent. The product we are going to get is copper nitrate along with the H2O along with NO2 gas, nitrogen dioxide gas. Yeah, you can balance it. We did that so many times. Dehydrating agent is something that will absorb the water molecule. You can give the example of different reaction. Suppose I have this, a common one. I have copper sulfate pentahydrate, which is blue in color due to this water of crystallization. When you put sulfuric acid drops into the same, what will happen? The blue color will be gone. You are going to get anhydrous copper sulfate because your sulfuric acid is something that had taken those water molecules. Okay, that's why this became white in color. One more example, you can take sugar also, C12H22O11. When you put your sulfuric acid in sugar, what will happen? Dehydrating, it will take the water, you will get a black colored charcoal and more of like molasses, and water is something that is going to that is going to get away from this. As simple as that. You can give this example too for C part also. Now, D part as a less volatile acid, this is something we did so many times, right? When I talk about this 4th part as less volatile acid, how do we prove? Because from this less volatile acid, we can prepare more volatile acid. If you remember the example, NaNO3, potassium nitrate with sulfuric acid, we'll get our sodium sulfate, sodium bisulfate. If we are taking sodium nitrate with sulfuric acid, one product is sodium bisulfate along with nitric acid. So from a less volatile acid, we can prepare more volatile acid. We can definitely show that reaction. We did that again and again. So I just, I was not showing that, but I hope you got it. Yeah. So students, I think you understood. We did enough example for the same. And the whole funda is all these topics must be there in your mind because we did that. We did that beautifully with most important questions and hope it's super helpful. And how would I get to know when you do the homework so that I get to know that you're super active in this session and appreciating and you are also putting equal efforts. So please comment. Sulfuric acid is referred as king of chemicals. Why? And that's also called as oil of vitriol. What could be the reason for the same? Very simple question. I hope you find it the same, and please do let me know in the comment section how much you like this session. I hope you like this session, and all your comments that you can, you will, you're super prepared, and the answer for this homework also. This session is done, students. This session was there on 22nd Feb. I hope you have seen that. Otherwise, you can see that after this. And 25th Feb, organic chemistry's very first session is going to come. And you know that organic chemistry is a very important and a very helpful chapter for your higher classes also. So please do not miss that. Yep, students, don't forget that there is 50% discount right now with all the courses of Vedantu. You can take that 1 month course and can revise all the topic which you find troublesome by applying the code AGPRO. The link is there in the description box, and in the exam that won't be troublesome anymore. And you can have a command on the same, and it's just paying 6.7 rupees per session, 13.49 for a month, which is like you can say that this price is as low as your favorite party bag of any snacks. Yes. So, okay, don't miss that, students. Don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to share it among your friends. Don't forget to subscribe this channel as well. And thank you so much for being a part of this journey of mine. And I hope I'm able to contribute in your journey. That's my funda, my motto. You can reach out to me on my email ID. So let's meet next time again with organic chemistry. Until then, please take care of yourself. Bye bye. Happy learning. Hasta la vista.